Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Congratulations, you have completed major part of the syllabus. We are on our last session today, and from this series, and then you get the graduation experience, and also you get graduated to the game series, which is the next one. Right? To be other teachers who are covering that, I am usually the DYS expert. That means I repeat these batches multiple times, multiple times. So thank you for tolerating me so far. Right. So with that, we'll get rolling. But about the happy planet. So आपने सुना होगा दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई तारे को दुनिया बनाई. So ये भी है छुप छुप तमाशा देखे. Like we are suffering and you are hiding over there and you are enjoying. Is this fair? So we have a lot of questions like what, where are we? Like this earth is more like a ball of fire because inside it is all fire, outside it is a little bit of mud, and then there is some air around it, and it is spinning so hard and it is orbiting so hard in the middle of nowhere, the space. On that, we are, and that is part of a big galaxy, and that galaxy is big part of the whole Brahmanda, and it's so huge, humongous, it is beyond we can count. And here we are sitting in a small body in a small village. And what is our real size as a soul? Our real size as a soul is if we take a tip of our hair and if we divide it 10,000 times, what remains, that one piece, is the size of our Atma. So our Atma, the spiritual spark, is so small, the microscope can show you. That small we are. And here we are asking God, the infinite, unlimited, saying that, what is going on in your mind? Why did you create all this? How come I'm not happy? Good questions. That is a sign that we are a spiritual spark. Because if we take that spiritual spark aside, the body, remaining body, does not ask any questions. It is just flat. So it is important that we are alive, we are human beings, and we have questions. That is a sign of human life to have questions. Have you seen any dogs have questions? Their only question is, where is food? Is somebody attacking me? Is there another dog I can go and marry? Right? So that's the animal species. When it comes to the human species of life, we wonder what's really going on? Kya chal raha hai? Why I'm not happy? Why I'm not as happy as I would like to be? And we're always trying to understand what is going on, what is going on, what is going on. So, anything we have learned so far? Any questions before we dive into today's topic? Let's get rolling. Okay. So we have this is our syllabus, where we are, where we are supposed to be, and how to get there. So Bhagavad Gita is more like a you go to Expedia.com, Booking.com, Yatra.com, so many Kayak.com, Google Flights.com. Okay, what do you do over there? First is where am I? Yes. Second is where do I want to go? Yes. Third is what experience I want on the way. Do I want to travel first class, second class, third class? Yes. And when you decide to travel first class, who sits around you? People who are traveling in first class. So, where do I want to go? What experience I want on the way? And then what experience I want when I reach over there. Correct? These 4 5 things is your travel plan. Important question is what is the price I am willing to pay for my travel? Because I want certain experience on the way and I want certain experience once I land there. Are we together on this? Okay. So Bhagavad Gita is also giving us the same information. As an Atma, what do I want? How do my travel experience should look like? Like how should my life look like? and where do I want to go and what is the price I'm willing to pay. So some people, they want to pay extreme price for going where they want to go. Hence, they take a life of full tapasya. They will become monks, they will become sannyasis. They're like, I don't want anything of this life. I'm willing to pay full price. Some people will say, I want to pay limited price. Zyada nahi. Spirituality should be like a salt in the lunch, not much. Clear? So what does it mean? I want only once a week spirituality. I'll go attend one class, the teacher babbles, other teachers bring some nice lunch. My job is done. Okay? Spirituality is complete. Check, check, check. You'll say that, once a week I actually attend Bhagavad Gita. Not all people. But what do the monks and some people who take it seriously? They make it their 24 by 7 business. They plunge into it. They don't want to get married. They don't want to do job also. They see that also as a distraction from the spiritual service. So what really remains is only 100% God consciousness. And hence, this could become their last life. So they are willing to pay a very high price. As a high price, their destination is also higher, their experience is also higher, and hence everything is higher. Or we could pay a economy class ticket, which is like सब कुछ arrange करके थोड़ा भगवान भी कर लेंगे. Like people come to temple and then they leave their children, say, look, beta, jai jai bolo. I didn't catch it, but my kids grew up in Hare Krishna only. So we only know full-time spiritual. Like. For us, the job and the business is secondary. We do it because we have to, right? Spirituality is primary. So my kids grew up, they came to middle school, and then they started saying, wo to J J wale. I asked them, what is J J wale? I never heard of this. So the people come once a year to the temple and they tell their kids, beta Jai Jai bolo. At the end of their spirituality, aage kuch nahi, piche kuch nahi. They don't want to practice anything every day. They don't want to reform themselves. They don't want to get better. They're not inquisitive enough. Class chalu hai to bhag jayenge. Right? So these are Jai Jai wale. Now, I did not know this concept. My kids brought it to me. It is not something I learned in ISKCON. Somehow our kids created their own vocabulary. That ye Jai Jai wale. They're like very, what do you say? There is a Hindu and then there is a practicing Hindu. So Hindu means थोड़ा सा भगवान को देखा, थोड़ा नमस्कार किया, थोड़ा वैष्णव देखी जाके आके हो गया. Spiritual is over, right? Whereas, as per the Bhakti Parampara, we're supposed to take a plunge. We are supposed to say, this should be my last life. How dare I take another life over here when I know what to do? What is the purpose of my life? I'm going to achieve the purpose of my life. And purpose of human life is to achieve God consciousness, achieve connect with Krishna. Right? So making this is your last life is an amazing goal to have. Will it happen? Possible. It is possible. That this is our last life. Now, how easily possible this is? If you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, right? If you study the now that some of you have Srimad Bhagavatam, if you study the story of Rudrasura, so basically Rudrasura was previously a king, Chitraketu, and then he basically took three lifetimes, three life parts, and then he went back to Godhead. Narad Muni, he took three incarnations, and then he went back to Krishna. So if you look at one after another, you'll see the example, Jada Bharata, Bharat Maharaj. He took three lifetimes, and then he went back to Krishna. So great people took three lifetimes minimum. Can we go one lifetime? Possible. But then what price you are willing to pay? Like Dhruva Maharaj, when he went into jungle, what was the price he was willing to pay? Right? Narad guided him about the process. So first he reduced his food, then he reduced his water, then he reduced his air intake also. He started breathing once in a time frame. That produced such a tapa. He had to get the blessings of the Lord. So tapasya means taking conscious austerity. to purify our existence so that we can go back. So we are going to talk about what hostels we can take. Please do not go to jungle. We have better options. Yes, Ravi, no going to jungle. Okay. Next. So where are we? We have seen this. Material world means what? Four types of troubles. Which are four problems of life are Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Four problems of life. And then three types of errors, which are three types of troubles. One type is from mind and body. Second type is from somebody else troubling, right? Then the third type is Mother Nature. Yes. So now three. So that is material world. Question: do we want to be here forever? Take birth again and again, get beaten up again. Take birth again and again, beaten up. No, sometimes people say मंदिर का घंटा बना के रखा है, कोई भी आके बजा के चला जाए. So basically, we are getting beaten up left, right, center by the system. And if we still want to continue the system, then we deserve it. If you don't deserve it, you're gonna rise and say, I am going to do something differently. Why? Insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. What is insanity? Keep doing what we have been doing and expecting different results. That will not happen. We have to start doing something differently, get different results. So if we are not happy with the results in life, we have to immediately change what we do in our 12 hours. And even the nighttime 12 hours also what we do changes. So basically 24 by 7, we are supposed to live a different life. Are we ready for that? Okay, next. So, things of this world that attract us. Now, please understand, the syllabus is also created for brahmacharis or students in Pune who are supposed to take up their monk life. So, the syllabus is little hard hitting. Okay. So, take it easy. If you find it like, hey, this is too much, it's okay. Next. It's a video. Upload video.
I wish to narrate one short story that one man, one boy, I wish to narrate one short story that one man, one boy was attracted by beautiful girl. So the girl does not agree and the boy is persistent. So in India, of course, the girls, they keep their chastity very strict. So the girl was not agreeing. So she said, all right, I agree. After 1 week to come, she appointed certain such time to come. So the boy was very glad. And the girl took some bargain throughout this every day. And she was passing through day and night and vomiting. And she kept all these mornings and stood in a nice spot. So when the appointed time came, the boy came and the girl was sitting on the door. The boy inquired, where is that girl? She said, I am that girl. No, no, you are so ugly. You are so beautiful. You are not that girl. No, I am that girl. But you separated my beauty in a different form. What is that? She told, this is the beauty, this truth and knowledge. This is the ingredient. Actually, anyone may be very robust or very beautiful if he passes through for 3 or 4 times, everything changes.
So what we are saying is our beauty is a skin dip. Like the medical students who go for first time opening up the body because they have to learn what is inside the body. They keep a lot of stretchers ready because a lot of these first time doctors, the first year doctors, when they open up the human body, they faint looking at how ugly the body is from inside. That's why the beauty is only skin dip. Once you open it, it is very yucky because these are all liquids and pus and blood and mucus and bones. There's no beauty inside. The beauty is only skin dip. But what happens for that skin dip beauty, there is a whole Bollywood. There is a whole Hollywood, Tollywood, Mollywood, you name it, right? It's a multi-billion dollar industry because we are attracted to the external beauty. We are supposed to get attracted to the spiritual beauty. That means when a person is spiritually connected to the Lordships, that is the real beauty. The beauty is inside, it is not outside at a spiritual level. Next, bro. So mundane intellectuals and aesthetics, however, are deluded by the outward beauty, but the attraction of the relative truth, and are unaware of the spiritual spark, which is both truth and beauty at the same time. That is, the spiritual beauty is billion times higher, but now we are not exposed to it. Next. So this world is what? It is perishable, full of ignorance and pain producing. You open the newspaper, there is trouble only. You open Google News, there is trouble. You open the cable news, there is trouble. Nobody is giving you the good news. Have you ever seen that somebody is giving you a lot of good news on TV? No. This person died and that person lost. Something is going on. But the spiritual body is permanent, full of knowledge and bliss producing. That is the Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. That is the original definition of who we are, the spiritual spark. So now what is happening? This beautiful Sachetan, full of knowledge, spiritual spark, which is indestructible, it cannot be destroyed, it is always happy, is now stuck in a body which is very destroyable. Right? Okay, next. Okay, next again. Spiritual world is like the tree on the bank of the river, and material world is like the reflection of the tree in the river. So what is happening? Sanvi, you see mangoes over here, and if you jump into the water, are you going to get the mangoes? They look like mangoes only. So the happiness of this world is like those mangoes in the water. You can jump into it, you don't get anything other than the splash. But if you look up, means the spiritual direction, then in the spiritual world, there is real happiness. The happiness in this world is like separation between the two material problems. Like, first thing we call the family saying, "Sab theek hai." Yes, sab theek hai. Because any moment, anything can happen. Padam padam vipadam. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. When the soul was coming from the spiritual world, like you enter Washington, you enter Mexico, like that. This material world entry point, the direction was what? Dukkha alayam ashashvatam. Dukkha, pain. Alayam, house of pain. So is it possible, Sanvi, that you wear a white suit, white gown, go into a coal mine and come back white only? Some coal will touch you. No? Like that, in this world, no matter how hard we try, we're bound to become unhappy. That is normal. To become unhappy is normal. To become happy is rare. And half of the time, people are faking their happiness. They're not happy. They're happy on Facebook. For example, whole winter is miserable. Do you agree? There's no sunshine, there is no warmth. It is so miserable. But then it snows once a year. And in that snow, we take photos. And then we send it to the family in India. And they think, oh, these guys are enjoying in America so much. They don't know 8 months we are tolerating this dark depression clouds. That is how the world is showing they're happy. Everybody on Facebook is happy. Everybody on Twitter is angry. Every social media has an emotion connected in that. So people just go and bombard and download as much as they want. Okay. So now, so next slide. So nowadays, you don't need to put real marble. You can put fake marble sheets also. They look like marble only, right? Like that, you get some plastic mangoes which look so beautiful and they're so ripe, and you feel like if I eat it, it will be so nice. But the reality is, they're not. They're plastic mangoes. Like that, the beauty of this world, wherever there is fake thing, there has to be a real thing also. You agree? If there is a fake dollar, that is evidence there is a real dollar somewhere. If you see fake gold, that means there is a real gold somewhere. So if there are good things in this world, which are those 6 attractions that we talked about, right? The beauty, the fame, the renunciation, knowledge, strength. If there is something good in this world, there must be original and pure somewhere else in full quantity. That we have to assume. For example, every desire in this world also, every desire in this world, there is a way to fulfill that. There is an arrangement. You feel thirsty? Is there water in this world? Imagine God gave you something called as thirst, but there was no water of this. What kind of design is this? You created a requirement, but there is no fulfillment. You see that? There is a water, there is a thirst. There is hunger, there is food. There is a magic, there is a fulfillment, there is an attraction. There are people you can get attracted to. You see that? So that means there is a desire and there is a fulfillment. All arrangements are in place. Correct? There is a desire to worship also. People worship something. Like the Adivasis will worship Mother Nature. That this mountain is only God, this tree is God, this weather is God, whatever, right? They'll worship that. So even amongst them, then there are people who worship cinema artists like God. Like there are cinema stars whose mandir is there. There are some people who have created political leaders' mandir, like Modi's mandir is there. So there is a desire to worship something that is better or higher than you. So there is an innate desire to worship. If there is a imperfect place and thing to worship, there has to be something perfect and complete out there. And that is God in spiritual world is that complete and perfect that we want to connect with. While trying to fulfill our desire is something in the middle. Some temporary objects. Yes. Okay. So blissful spiritual world, what does it mean? This is how it is described in the scriptures. Every word is a song, every walk is a dance, every water is the nectar, like Amrut. All living beings are pure. There is no old age, disease, and death. That's really definition of the world. That means if we would like this place to be, if that is the desire in our heart, that there should be something like this. There is something like this. That is what the scriptures are saying. Like in my childhood, I saw a song that stayed with me. Then I googled it and I found it also. चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं ऐसे गगन के तले जहाँ गम भी ना हो आंसू भी ना हो बस प्यार ही प्यार पले एक ऐसे गगन के तले. Sarvi, what does it mean? Hindi. The song means, let me take you to a place where there is no pain, there is no negative emotions, it is only happiness. There is a place like that. Let me take you there. Now, why would somebody create a song like that in the Bollywood? Of course, our childhood Bollywood was different than current Bollywood. But the point is, there is a innate desire that there needs to be a place where there is no problem. There has to be a panacea, there has to be a problem free world. And that place does exist. That's the good news. So basically, the goal of our life is to go back to where we belong. Right? Like Sanvi goes to the school. But end of the day, coming home is important, right? Then you stay in the school just like at night, whole building, you're alone. Like no fun. So just like a fish likes to go back to the water, kids like to come back home. We as Atma, we have a home also. We are in the wrong place. We're stuck in the wrong place. We're stuck in the wrong place temporarily, and we are supposed to go back. Yes. Okay. So why does the soul leave the spiritual world? Why does the soul come over here? Because everything was perfect over there, right? The fact is, we also make wrong choices here also. It's not like we make all the choices right. We make wrong choices also. Right? So many cases of say lousy hand. Parents are saying don't do it, and kids will still go for it, get in trouble, and then we realize they made a wrong choice. So we are also making wrong choices all the time. Why? Because as a spiritual spark, we have free will. You know what is free will? Today, to come to this class or go out and do something else was your free will. You used your free will in a direction. And then I do want to go and learn this class. Yes, that's a use of the free will. Like that, God has supreme free will. We have limited free will. Why? Because God is unlimited and we are limited. Same in nature, but size matters. How big we are, Sanvi? Yeah. The soul is how big? Yeah. You take the tip of the hair. Every time we say this, you pluck out one hair from your papa. Like this. Break it 10,000 times. Then take one part of that. Say, that is my sense. That's the same size soul that empowers the heart of the whale that is running the whale's body and the whole blood circulation. Because the heart has to run. Blood circulation has to run. So from mosquito whale, the size of the soul is same. The size of the super soul changes. That is this is the size of the super soul in our heart. The size of the soul remains the same. And that soul, being so minute, has minute free will. And that minute free will is, do I want to be with God in the spiritual world or do I want to try something else? We also thought we will come away from our parents and become happy. That's when we tried this. Why would we give up where we grow up? Why do we come away? We have a hope that I'm going to become more happy. Yes. So, like that, the soul also thinks, okay, in the spiritual world, everybody is like, worshipping God and glorifying God and praising God and connecting with God and happy with God. Oh no, what about me? The moment that me becomes prominent, right? Time to, like if you have children and your son becomes 18 years old and he's started like, no, I want to be the head of the family. Okay, we'll buy you another house if you want. We'll get you married. You become the head of the family over there and do what you want to do, right? Usually that is how families have to go split. So, next. So do you understand? It is the use of, from Atma, God will never take away your free will. Why? Because God want us to be happy with Him in the spiritual world out of love, not out of compulsion, not out of fear of something else. God wants us to be in the spiritual world because we love Him. If we don't want to love Him, He gives us a free choice to say, go try out something else. Yes? Out of unlimited number of souls, which are also all expansions of Lord only, very minute number of souls say, I want to try something else. Just like in a village or a town, there is a jail. You think the population in the jail is bigger than the population in the village? Jail is supposed to be smaller and population is supposed to be less. we as souls in this world are actually minority in number compared to the spiritual world. In size, the material world is 1/4 of the spiritual existence. So spiritual world is 3 times larger. So although when Mahavishnu breathes out, there are unlimited number of Brahmandas that expand from his pores, and each Brahmanda, the size is immeasurable by our material standards. Still, all these Brahmandas combined together, the whole material world, the physical manifestation, is 1/4 of the total existence. So 3 times more is spiritual world, in which the spiritual souls remain in the spiritual body in their original form. They don't need this material body. There is no matter in the spiritual world. And that is where a very small, and they are enjoying their relationship to the fullness with the Lord. But when they have a desire to, or curiosity, or desire to check out this material world, then they are given an opportunity to try it out. By free will, we come here. By free will, we can go back. It's really the choice of our free will. And every day, if you want to see how fickle our free will management is, just look at how do we spend our time and where is our attention. If we look at our attention, if we look at our time, we know that we are using our free will not in our relationship with Lord, but we are using it for something else. And that all something else is basically the cause of trouble that we are in. God is like sun rays, sunshine, everything is bright, everything is clear. But when you look away from God, you see shadow. Right? There's nothing called as cold. It is just lack of heat. So absence of God in our life is equal to trouble in life. If we engage, if you love someone, this is the best part. If you love someone, become God's devotee. If you hate somebody, become God's devotee. Both ways, you have the biggest gunda on your side. So if you want to love somebody, God will take care of that person also because you are in love with God. But if somebody is troubling you, you become God's devotee again. Again, God will take care of that person differently because now you are in touch with God. So Krishna, although the demons came to Vrindavan, he really he didn't waste time. He just killed them. But when Indra came and he tried to drown the whole Vrindavan, he still forgave Indra. So it really depends on who that is, what is their intention, and God will reciprocate accordingly. But the point is, no matter what your situation is, the best bet is to be under the umbrella of Krishna. Next. Okay. So in this world, think of it like we are in a jail. Right? This world is like a jail. Now, who is the jail keeper? Parvati, Mahadevi, Bhavani, Durga Devi. Durga means fort. Durga is the fortress head or jail keeper. Why? Because this world is very difficult to get out. Now, I don't see any chains. Still, it is very difficult to get out. Why? Because I believe I am this body. And that hypnotism keeps me here. Okay, next. So, food is given, medicine is herbs, nature is giving us, and the check shirt in the jailmates are having a uniform. Actually, this is our uniform. And we are so proud of our uniform. We go in the mirror and say, oh, everybody's proud. They're taking million photos of our uniform, putting it on internet, saying that how my uniform looks. I'm not this body. But I'm photographing this material uniform, which is keeping me in this world bound to birth, death, old age, disease. I'm celebrating it. Happy birthday to you. Which you got a uniform to be in this jail. Stay here 100 years now. That is your punishment. So that is the beauty. That is why who is crazy? Person who is crazy is the person who has identity conflict. Is usually seen as a crazy person. Right? If I start thinking I am something else, people will say this guy is one cuckoo. I'm not this body. I'm thinking this body. I'm celebrating every moment that I'm this body. That is the coolness that we are going through. And then what are the whips? Chekshan is material body. Whips are lamentation, illusion, hunger, thirst, troubles we are going through. Then what is the release? How do you get released from the jail? You go back to the spiritual world and stay in the spiritual world. That is where you belong. And what do? You follow the laws of God, laws of nature, laws of God. We are supposed to follow. Any questions so far? Next. Now, this is a real life case. I'm driving on a freeway on California. And my son, aged that time maybe 4 or something, he vehemently managed to break out his belt and all that from the child seat. I said, I want to drive. Crying vehemently, I want to drive. Now, because he managed to get out and I'm on freeway, one hand I'm driving, second hand I'm holding. So that he wanted to get out of the car. Like, if you don't let me drive, I'm getting out right now. Somehow I managed to take the car off the freeway, got into a parking lot, grabbed hold of him, again tie him nicely. Over there, I said, okay, you come out, drive the car. No, I want to drive on the freeway. This week, you have to drive on the freeway. What do? Go to Toys R Us, get a plastic car. And then we put even a police thing on the top. Cop car, that. Right? Now you become a police car. Now he's super happy. You know, dragging with his own leg inside the car. He's extremely happy in the backyard that he got a car. Do you see? Same thing God does to us. Like a father gives a car to play, but the car cannot be real or Ferrari or freeway. It has to be backyard. It has to be plastic car. Like that, God gives us this Brahmanda because in the spiritual we thought, I will become like God. I'll take position of God. God's go try it out. Because God is unlimited. We are sorry. No, actual size.
Like if you like tear like if I tear out my papa's hair, then after that if I break it into like 10,000 pieces, like that's so small.
You are a big guy. That's small. And we're competing with God. Why? By nature, God has control over everything. We also like to have control over everything. The problem is we forget our size. Because we have forgotten our size, that is why we are trying to behave like God. It's not working out. Now, when the soul comes in this world, incidentally, first the soul thought, I'm going to rule this world. This Brahmanda is mine. First life is life of Brahma. Then he says that, oh my God, there are other souls also who felt a little rebellious with Lord and they came away from Lord. And now we all have to outcompete each other to become God. That is why we are trying to become the most rich person on the earth. Isn't it true? Are we going to settle for anything less? If we could become rich, we would like to be the richest. Yes. If we are earning strength, are we going to settle with number 2 position ever? If we have choice, if you get a magic wand, like ask what you want, are we going to settle less than anybody else? We'd like to be the strongest. We'd like to be the most knowledgeable. We would like to be the most beautiful. You name it, we want it. We want to be at the top. That time we know we are competing with God will be there. Because who has everything ultimate? God. What are we doing? Competition. Now, when we are in competition, we are put into this competition field over here, saying that guys, you decide among yourself who wants to be the God. At that point in time, if we are not nice to other expansions of Lord, children of God, that is law of karma. Like Sani, one baby, you can take care of it. Imagine you have 12 babies like Sani. Okay? And then you say, Sani and team of 12, the cricket team. Mama, Papa is going to India. You have all the food in the refrigerator. Everything is perfectly, electricity, cable TV, video games, everything is there. We'll come back in 1 week. When the parents come back in 1 week, what happens? Somebody's ear is broken, somebody's teeth is broken, somebody's eye is broken, boom, 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 amongst yourself. So now, Mama, Papa have 2 choices. It happens, it's okay, ignore it. Second option is sit down. Who did what? Who did the mistake? I have to punish you, correct? I have to correct you. That punishment correction is not because you hate your child. You still like your child. You want to correct your child. That is why jails are called as correctional facilities. That means in the process of correction, there is a law of karma. That karma is the trouble in this world. The karma is not bigger than what we did. It is always in proportion to what we did. And then there are ways to overcome the law of karma of all the mistakes we have done in the past. That is bhakti or karma. Clear? So fish out of water. Say you take a fish out of water and you give, say, no, I will give you a job in Anthropic or Nvidia or CrowdStrike, right? And then I will give you a wife as beautiful as you name anybody over it. I don't have good examples, right? And then I will give you 401k, I will give you Ferrari, I will give you name it. You keep giving that to that fish. Will the fish be happy? Sorry? Why?
Because if you take a fish out of water, it's not going to be happy because it needs to live in the water because the water is its home.
It cannot breathe in the air. It can breathe only in water. And the first thing it needs is life, pranavayu, breath. So you take that fish, put it back into the water. The fish does not need anything else. Like that, if we are taken back into the spiritual world, we don't need anything else. Until we go back to the spiritual life, spiritual world, if we live a complete spiritual life here, which is possible, again, we don't need to worry about anything. God will take care of it. It is in proportion to our faith and action. Yes, but we are in work in progress. So don't like jump overnight without talking to your teachers. Okay, next. So now, basically, spiritual world is what Lord comes once in a while, just like a king comes in the jail, looks at who are the people behaving nicely, and releases them early. Like that, God comes once in a while. He does his leelas. Leela means what? If you own that phone, if you move it from your left hand to right hand, that is not a theft. I don't own your phone. If I move it from your pocket to my pocket, is that theft? What I did was karma. What he does is Leela because he owns it. What God does is Leela because he owns the whole world. What I do is karma because I need to do what is allowed for me. Clear? That's why we should not compete with God because what God does is Leela. He can marry 16,108 wives. He can have palaces for each wife, unlimited incessant food supply, silk and gold and everything. And he can expand 1601 times and keep every wife fully happy and be around her and be in a relationship of love. We are humans. We should not compete with God. That is the primary difference for why we become unhappy is because we are competing with God. We are envious of God because of that. Because God is not present in front of us, we start expanding our envy and anger to other people which are present in front of us. And how then you get something better than you're not supposed to get better than, right? You're supposed to be below me. That is competition. Okay. Next. So basically, the way to become happy is to go back to our relationship with God. As simple as that. Is there a video coming from?
A man had two sons. The younger son told his father, "Father, I want my share of your estate now, before you die." So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, his younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land. And there he wasted all his money in wild living. About the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pots he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger." He wasted everything his father gave him. While he had the job of feeding the pigs, the young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him. But no one gave him anything. Finally, he came to his senses and said,
These workers have plenty to eat, and here I am starving to death. Go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers.
but when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt sorry for him.
Oh, oh,
He ran to his son.
oh, oh, oh.
And he hugged and kissed him.
Hurry and bring the best clothes and put them on him. Give him a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet. His son of mine was dead, he's now come back to life. He was lost and has now been found.
And they began to celebrate.
So my son was dead. He means he gave up on his father. Now he's back. So like that, God is more eager and more happy and more anxious to have us back than we are eager to go back. Only problem is God is respecting our free will to be away from Him. So we can break that ice by going back to the Lord and praying hard, saying that, yes, I want to come back. I want to see you. I want to be in relationship with you. Kindly accept me back. And God is actually more eager. He'll make all the arrangements possible in a miraculous way to make sure you get the right knowledge, you get the right guidance, you get the right company, and you can go back as fast as you want back to God. That is God's eagerness, but we have to do our part. Just like, can you win a lottery ticket without buying a lottery ticket? So like that, we're supposed to, God is waiting to give us everything, but we need to do our part. How is that our part? Say, for example, Papa tells Sanvi, you do little homework, okay, every day, and I will take you to Disneyland. Now, Sanvi doing homework, does that produce enough cash to buy the tickets for Disneyland and going to? No, but Father loves you. So he will say, you do only this much, I will take care of that much. That is Father's love. Like that, God says, You do few things and I will take you back. And that is A, B, C, D, E. A for association, B for books, which is coming. You understand? So it is not that our bhakti is producing enough results to go back. God is saying, you do only this much, Baba. I will take you back. You just show that you will not become a trouble by coming over here to others. Because other souls are pure and they are living good life. And if an impure soul from here goes into spiritual world, okay, God will not enjoy the way we behave, but others are also going to complain. Like when you go to the university admissions, they select the right students, right? Why? You want people around you to be like in that company. Right? Okay, next. So basically, there is a way to do things, and we are naturally happy just being connected with the Lord because that is the root of everything that we have. Next. So when we are in connection with God, taking action in it, that is called as akarma, not vikarma or karma. Karma means following the regulatives properly. But vikarma is breaking the rules, papa. Forget the two, we have been like doing that enough. Akarma is doing something that will please God. That activity is called as akarma or bhakti. And there are some amazing examples like Hanumanji. And can you imagine the effort? Hopping around from South India to North India, getting a mountain, hopping back, building the bridges, so many activities, all for the pleasure of Ram. Did he do it for his own pleasure? After the end of the Ramayana, he said, I'll stay back only. I'm not qualified to be in the spiritual world. Hanuman is still here. And he's chanting Lord's name all the time. Hanumanji was so eager to please Lord Ram that in North India you put this sindoor, right? Powder. And then you see Hanumanji is also full of sindoor. Have you seen that? He's always fully covered. What really happened was he went to Mother Sita, and in front of Mother Sita, he never went like a tall, big guy. He would always take a baby monkey form to go to Mother Sita. So that it's like Mother, oh, mommy. So she was putting sindoor, and Hanumanji asked, what are you doing? And why are you doing it? I mean, you're supposed to ask, why are you doing what you're doing? And Mother Sita said, this is to please Lord Ram. So, really? Putting this pleases Lord Ram? Hanumanji went into the sindoor market only and jumped into that whole powder only and became completely full of sindoor and came in front of Lord Ram and he's like showing off, see how much I want to please you. That is why we put sindoor on Hanuman, because he thinks that is how Lord Ram will be pleased. So we have a choice in this world to join Hanuman's party or Ravana's party. Ravana wanted to steal the energy of Lord Ram, which is his wife, away from him for his own pleasure. And Hanumanji wanted to take the energy of the Lord back to Lord Ram for Lord Ram's pleasure. So we can be on one of the two parties by saying, am I doing what I'm doing for God's pleasure or am I doing it for my pleasure? That really, you have these two parties to choose. Based on that, your future is locked. Clear? Tani, which team you want to be on?
I don't think we're in Hanuman's, but
Awesome. And then there is a story of Hanumanji opening up his chest and showing what happened. Lord Ram gave him a pearl necklace and he started breaking every necklace to see whether there is a Ram in it. And he was asked, something was asked. He said, okay, I'll show you that in my heart also there is Ram. There has to be Ram in everything for me to. So in Hindi we say, isme kuch Ram nahi hai. But there is no life in it. There is no reality in it. Yes. So next. So what is happening? We can participate in Lord's Leelas by serving Lord. We are participating in Lord's Leelas. Like we are offering food to Krishna. Now he's going to eat. So we participated in Lord's Leela. We became part of his family. So there are many ways. This whole bhakti that we do in ISKCON is basically participating in Lord's Leelas, which purifies all our previous activities, our slate is clean, we can go back. Okay. A second option is the Ravana's party. You see, you open TV, you see that all the time. Ravana's party, always party. In the wrong way. Next. So what is ABCDE formula? By learning to align with God and nature as taught in the Vedic scriptures, one can have a healthy heart and return back to spiritual world, which is our original home, where eternal society, eternal, okay, it's not temporary, friendship and love can be experienced. What happens in this world? You go to the school and children are mean to you sometimes, They are that sometimes, they're like, they'll make groups or cool kids and non-cool kids. There's so much of dance and drama going around that. And everybody's trying to be cool. Everybody's trying to fit in. The fashion has to be the right way to them. If not, what will other kids say? Oh, mama, papa, when you come to the school and drop me, don't hug me in front of everyone. What will my friends say? So many things we have to worry over here. In the spiritual world, there is a full acceptance of who you are, as you are. There is no accept, reject concept. Okay, next. So what is the ABCD formula? A stands for association. Association means what? Anything you want to do in life, first you have to find other people who are doing it. You agree? You want to learn, say, how to do the sailboats in the ocean. You have to find somebody who is doing a sailboat as a hobby. Go learn from them, join the club. Why so many clubs exist in this world? Because you want the association to become like them. So if you want to join the party that is going back to the Godhead, then you want to join that party by associating with people who are already practicing. A for association, B for books. All the scriptural knowledge is available in the form of those books, which are preserved in the parampara meticulously, translated across languages meticulously. Now it is available in the web form, mobile form, soft copy, digital, 3D, right? All that is coming. Basically, all that knowledge is supposed to be enjoyed, at least, because we have 5 senses, so we can read, we can hear also. When we eat prasadam, we are tasting also. When we are smelling the flower in the temple, we are except the fragrance also. So we leverage always. Then sometimes when it is allowed, we touch the murti of the Lord or chapels of the Lord. I think that okay. So we're touching also. So your 5 senses can be spiritualized by connecting them to God. Clear? Then the chanting. Chanting is basically the tapasya we're supposed to do in this yuga, because in this yuga we don't have any greater qualifications to do big yajnas or big temple pujas. We're not qualified. It takes enormous by doing by original standards. So Kali Yuga, people are already Kali Kolahal, quarrel, hypocrisy. Do you see anything around you other than quarrel and hypocrisy? Why? Because we are 5,000 into Kali Yuga, it is going to get worse. So the best and easiest way is to take God's name. How do you take that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Say it one more time. Close your eyes, raise your hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Just by repeating this mantra, we are going to go back to God. And when we say, how it can be so easy? The problem is so big, the solution also has to be big. No, I just explained. Sani does little study and Papa takes her to Disneyland. Because Papa loves you. Like that, God loves us. Just doing that little thing is taking us back to where we belong. Okay, see, for chanting, that is a Kali Yuga Dharma. D for diet. Billions and billions and billions of animals are killed every day or every year. And that is just because somebody wants to eat them. And that whole activity, please understand, is also, they are also God's children. They also go through pain. And it is not fair on them. They want to live. As simple as that. But Jivo Jivasa Jivanam. Jivo Jivasa Jivanam means life depends on life. So we are supposed to take what we are allowed. And what we are allowed is Patra Pushpam Phalam Toyam. As per Bhagavad Gita, leaves, flowers can be offered to Lord. What is offered is what you can take as your ahar. And what is being offered is leaves means sabji. Vegetables are okay. Vegetables can be submitted. So that is why vegan food is okay, or vegetarian food is okay, or ahimsa milk. That means the cows which are taken care of properly, their milk can be enjoyed. E for engagement. Okay, awesome. You read books, you learn many things, you did chanting, now your whole mind is under your control, right? And you eat diet, so now you are full energy. Now, what to do with all of that? You want to take some action, and that action is engagement. And engagement is let me go and do something that will help others come closer to the God. And in 18th chapter, Krishna says, there is nobody more dear to me than those who discuss my glories in the presence of other devotees. That means the activity that we are doing right now is most pleasing to Krishna. So how to become Krishna's favorite? You discuss Krishna Katha in front of other devotees, either by reading the book together or by explaining to those who do not know. And that is the most favorite thing we can do to become favorite of Krishna. You like to become teacher's favorite? Yeah, like that. We can become Krishna's favorite by explaining the Krishna Katha to others. As given by Bhagavad Gita, what knowledge I have, only I am speaking what I know from there. So now this is the akarma. If we do our little homework, Krishna is going to take us back. It is not by our own power. It is by the power of the Guru Parampara who gives us this process and knowledge. They are also praying for us. We have to pray for each other. And if we say, today onwards, I'll be a good kid, good student, good child of Krishna, I'll behave better. And even if I fail, I'm going to again ask strength from Krishna only to behave better. Like that, develop that relationship with Krishna, you will start enjoying what you're doing. Initially, like when you're hungry and when you eat good food, there are two things that happen. One is your hunger is gone, right? Or your thirst is gone because you got good food. And the second thing that comes back to back is you feel satisfied. Yes. So in this world, you can get cars and phones and husbands and wife. You'll not be satisfied. But in spiritual life, not only you will get things of this world, you will also feel the satisfaction. That satisfaction is only possible if we are in touch with Krishna. Otherwise, it is not possible. It's like in the dream, you are under a waterfall and drinking a lot of water in the dream, but practically you don't have water, so you're thirsty. Like that, if you get up and drink little water, you'll be okay. Correct? That little water is Krishna name, right? Krishna invests all his energies, all his leelas, guna, rupa, dhamma. Everything is stored in the name only. And you don't need to take appointment with Krishna to call his name. He is present in the name is present on your tongue. And just like when you are dancing on the roots of the Kaliya, purified Kaliya, like that our tongue is also like a snake. It is always disturbing people. Yes? And other people are disturbing us. So if you let Krishna dance on that tongue, all the poison goes out and we are left with good Kaliya. That means we will not be fighting after that. Okay, next. So A, B, C, D, E, any questions? That's really the crux. Like, okay, Ganesh or Gaurang Chandradas, Aad Ghanta Pakaya. Now tell me what to do. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Story of two parrots. If a calf is with other calves, what it will do? It will drink milk. If you let the calf enjoy the company of pigs, it will eat what? Have you seen Mowgli? Mowgli movie? Mowgli nahi dikha?
It's even if it's small at that.
Yeah, I didn't think of it. Mowgli, how Mowgli drinks water? Not like that. Like he's in the company of wolves. So he'll put his mouth in the water, then look left, look right. Is everything okay? Is it safe? Then he'll put again his mouth. So monkey see, monkey do. Mowgli will do what the wolves are doing. If I go and stand next to office people who are smoking cigarettes and having a technical conversation outside the office building, if I repeat for 8 days, 9th day, I start believing smoking is normal. That is the power of the company. If you go and sit with people who are drinking alcohol, do it enough, even if you don't drink, one fine day you'll feel it is normal at least. Then there will come a day when you say, "Kya problem hai? Let me drink a little bit." Right? So, like that, association, the power of association. Alcohol is not yummy. Still, people drink it, they keep drinking it and they start liking it. Right? But spiritual life is also like that. Initially, you will feel, "Kya hai? Neend aa raha hai. Every time I open Bhagavad Gita, I fall asleep. It's very difficult to wake up early in the morning. And then, oh, I don't want to go to classes. I want to go for a movie." Mind will trick you in many ways. But if you keep doing it enough, you will start relishing, enjoying it. Okay, next. So, okay, just like universities, we have the parampara and we have the books. And all of you have Bhagavad Gita copy at home. It's called Bhagavad Gita, not Devdatta Patnaik and all that. Next. Parampara means complete knowledge transfer. Chanting, I just explained, that is the best way to become happy and free of charge. It's an inter-universal call that you get to make for free. It is better than 911 because 911 will also work when there is a telecom network. But chanting will work in all situations, including when you are in coma in hospital, still your mind can still call out Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That is the power of the chanting. Okay. And we have gone through a whole session on chanting. Right? So next. E for diet, the most and easiest part. That is why ISKCON Seattle distributes, we have distributed almost more than 1 million plates so far in Prasadam. Somebody comes to temple, we make sure they are eating and going. Because they are guest of Krishna. How can you go without eating prasadam? Your guest has to be treated nicely. Right? And in the process, we have learned, because now we have people around different cultures following Krishna. We have tried so many different types of vegetarian foods that otherwise I didn't know anything beyond dal, rice, chapati. So, but now I know baklava, I know Italians, I know Russian dishes. All that is possible because the whole humanity is following Krishna. Next. Oh yeah, the food can be in Rajas, Sattva, Tamas, just like anything can be the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Food is a very prominent thing. The food in the mode of goodness is what? Nice salads, veggies, fresh, not too much cooked, right? And not too much of spice, just enough that your hunger demands, and eaten at the right timings. All that is mode of goodness. Milk. But then mode of passion is should be so spicy that my ears should turn red and I should be watering and it should be like steamy hot. Right? Then it is mode of passion. And some people don't even feel like they ate unless they have that kind of experience. That is mode of passion. Rajas. Right? Tamas. Tamas is food stale, 7 days old, putrid, kharab hai, smelly hai. फिर भी लोग खा लेते. Still people eat bad food. Like go to Costco. You see that red meat over there. You think it is red because of blood? It is not. They put a special chemical that causes cancer actually, and that makes it look red. If you don't put that chemical, it will look like a brown and dark and yellowish. But they want it to look like it was just cut and delivered. That is why that chemical makes it look red. If slaughterhouse had glass walls, everybody would be vegetarian. Because when you see the animal going through that situation, you feel like, I don't want, right? Like there are documentaries like Food Nation. You can look it up. What the animals have to go through. What is their situation? Nobody wants that situation to happen to themselves. But if we are eating that output, we are bound to be in that situation. Law of karma is very strong. How strong? 1,000 cows go in the jungle, they come back in the village. There are 1,000 baby cows waiting for them. Now they don't have RFID, they don't have biometrics, they don't have a way to recognize each other. Still, the baby cow exactly finds the mother. Exactly, they find the mother amongst 1,000 mothers. Law of karma will also find us like that only. Not a thought or action goes for waste. It will create reactions. Because thoughts over a period of time becomes action. Right? The thoughts become the word and the word becomes the action. Be careful of your actions, then be careful of your words, and then be careful of your thoughts. You lock it at a thought level. And the best way to lock it at a thought level is to chant Hare Krishna, to read the books, to eat the prasadam, from ears only hear Krishna Katha. Then you know that you are not allowing any garbage to go inside. Then only good things will come outside. Yes? Next. Default diet, we talked about it. Next. So what happens? What we offer to Lord is bhoga. When Lord blesses that, comes back as prasadam. What we offer is bhoga. When we are cooking, we are not supposed to salivate on it. We are supposed to say, oh Lord, this is for your pleasure. Be detached. Like Hare Krishna, when we cook, we don't taste it to see whether the salt is there or not. We first offer it and take the risk. Whether I forgot the salt or not, I will learn by doing it again and again. Even if we are cooking for 5,000 people or 50,000 people, we don't test it to see how it came out. We first offer it to the lordships, then we try it and see what happens. Right? I have a special siddhi. Just by smelling the cooking food, I can tell there is salt in it or not. How that happens, I don't know. I can tell. So it saves the trouble of my wife said, did I put salt or not? Come and smell it. And I'm like, okay. And then I can tell you, you did not put salt in it. How it happens, I don't know. So whatever is your duty, you can do it for Krishna. Whether it is a squirrel or Hanuman or a fruit seller, all can do something for Krishna. Anything, right? Prabhupada said, if you don't have anything else to do, take a paper and scissor and cut it and say, I'm doing this for Krishna. Do something for Krishna. Of course, there are much more positive actions available if you are available. But I'm just saying, ultimately, tie everything down to Krishna. You are going to the supermarket, you're buying fruits and veggies, say, Bhagwan ko bhog chadana hai. I should select the best of the best. I should make sure it is nice and tight. Now what happened? You driving back, buying the vegetables and paying for it, all became akarma. Oh, but how did you get the money? Oh, you went to office and you paid money. Now that became akarma. How did you go to office? Oh, you studied so much. Oh, that also became akarma. Oh, from that your parents actually grew you and they did so much of hard work. That also becomes akarma. So you see, by first thinking that I will offer these tomatoes and fruits to Krishna, your whole khandan became a devotee. Now, there is a private victory and then there is a public victory. Means first, they will become the devotees, but they will not know. Slowly, they will become devotees and will see others. So, you love Krishna, you love everybody else automatically. Why? They are part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, next. Engagement. Do something. If you are a technical guy, create mobile apps that will spread the name of Krishna. If you like to author, write books about Bhakti Parampara. So you can do whatever you know, whatever you can do it. Like Mata is making amazing sweets and bringing. That is her way of participating in Krishna project. Okay, next. Yeah, we'll fast track the poem part. Okay. Summary. Open the other PowerPoint. Check. There is one more deck that talks about multiple religions, but because we don't have people from multiple religions, we'll get you directly to the point. So next Saturday, we all are going in town and taking Krishna's names loudly and together dancing and singing. It will be a party parade. All of you are welcome. We'll send you the invite. Please come. That's our way of making other people in the town fortunate by hearing Krishna's names that they otherwise don't have a chance. So we're helping them because they have completely forgotten. So we're saying, oh, you have a chance, you know that. Okay, so we'll keep going fast enough that I'll tell you where to stop. Right there. Yeah, understanding about God. So keep going here now. So this is where I was saying that Mahavishnu's body, when the Mahavishnu breathes out, from every pore of his body, one Brahmanda comes out. And that one Brahmanda has 14 lokas. That starts with Brahma Loka, goes down to the Patala, Talatala, Sutala. So these 14 lokas in the middle is earth are part of that one bubble, tiny bubble, in which every bubble has again Lord Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara expansion, Guna expansion in it, right? And that every Brahmanda is unlimited in size and unlimited in length in terms of the number of years. That is the life of the Brahma. Brahmanda is Brahma, right? So Brahma's life and Brahmanda's life is same. And that is just one breath of Mahavishnu. And when this Brahmanda gets over, it goes back into Mahavishnu's body. All the souls are also sucked back into Mahavishnu's body. And they go into dormant state, waiting for another breath to come out, another Brahmanda, another few billion years, another round of becoming dog, hog, monkey, human being. Then finally, out of these billion years, somebody taps saying that, do you want to learn Bhagavad Gita? If we use this opportunity to open the gate, we get out of this cycle. If not, we are again into the cycle and cycle. Yes. And we are eternal in nature, so nobody has any rush. God is eternal, I am eternal, I can suffer for eternally. Or we can just break the cycle and we can be happy forever. Yes. Yeah. So basically, Jesus said, I am the Son of God. Yes. Muhammad said, he is the messenger of God. Yes. What did Krishna say? Somebody read that to me.
In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna declares himself to be God. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me.
Now you think Krishna has grammar issues? He meant to say something else. Maybe galti se bol diya. No. Krishna means business. He's like, yes, I am the person. And then if you start 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, start reading only translations. Statement by statement, Krishna is introducing himself to Arjuna, saying that, yes, I am the one. No confusion left. Next. Yeah. So basically this word, Krishna, the last name, Christians, right? Krishna, the last name is basically morphing of the word Krishna only. So when we say Jesus Christ, he's taking his last name, which is like Krishna. So usually we attach our father's name, right? Just like sun by different names, Ravi, Dinkar, Bhaskar, Surya, Aditya, ultimately sun. God by any name is God only. People may understand him perfectly, imperfectly, completely, incompletely, but God is still God. Next. Now people may have pocket dictionaries and they may make it by heart. We may have encyclopedia and we are not opening it. So problem is on us to open our encyclopedia and see what is inside. Okay. So in this material world, he is the creator, maintainer, destroyer. Vishnu Mahesh type. He destroys the demons, protects the devotees, and reestablishes the religious principles. But in the spiritual world, God is in various forms. Like various forms of Lord, right? Mahavishnu is there, Varaha Avatar, Kurma Avatar, Dasha Avatars you know of. The Lord has unlimited avatars. And basically in his spiritual world, there are different planets which are dedicated to that, like Varaha Loka. There is one Varaha Loka. There is one Ayodhya. There is one Krishna Loka. So there are different lokas. You can pick and choose where you want to go. If you want to go to Varaha Loka only, you do Varaha Puja. And remember Varaha, fall in love with Varaha Dev. You go back to the Varaha Dev, no problem. So there is a choice available. I told you, this is a travel plan. You have to choose your destination. You have to choose the price that you want to pay, and you will go there. Next. Because of the above different roles, some religions present God as a giver of justice, rewarder and punisher, maintainer. These are not the ultimate role of God. His ultimate role is to simply exchange love and service. For example, other devatas, you see weapons in their hands. Krishna, right? He's the big boss. His energies are taking care of things. He can only enjoy. When Krishna plays his flute, from the flute, he has thousands of cows, baby cows. They all hear their personal names being uttered by Krishna. Like when Krishna sings his flute, and if a cow's name is Sani, That cow will hear, Sanvi, come here. The cow is getting that, whereas Krishna is only playing the flute. But all of them, they all come running. Like Krishna is calling me only, not you guys. Krishna is calling me only. And the Yamuna stops singing, is flowing. The river Yamuna stops flowing. Sometimes it will flow reverse. All the birds freeze when Krishna is playing flute. And all the gopis, they give up on their family business and they start running to the jungle. That is the power of Krishna's flute. Right? And if we chant enough, we might be able to remember that. We can hear Krishna's flute. If we purify our heart and chant Krishna's name, Krishna's leelas start to occur in our heart. Isn't it amazing? So next. Some people only talk about fear, fear, fear. God means fear, correct? And there are some religions which are based on that. Daro, daro, daro. Next level is desire. You want something, you will get it. You want something, you will get it. That's some religious principles are like that. Some are out of duty. I'm supposed to do this because this is the right thing to do. Fair enough. But the final, the best is falling in love and doing it out of love. Because if you do it out of love, you don't need any other motivation and you'll figure out your way. No matter what the obstacle is. Yes. Next. Okay. Play this.
Varsha, India's profound culture, filled with penetrating answers to man's deepest questions, has long guided thought in the Eastern and Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras, medieval thinkers like Voltaire, modern scientists like Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and messengers such as Swami Vivekananda accepted Indian philosophy for guidance and inspiration. Yet the purpose of this culture remained unknown, hidden in the hearts of India's greatest mystics. Thus, 50 years ago, in 1965, this rarefied essence was carried by a compassionate 70-year-old saint, Srila Prabhupada, to the shores of the Western world. Embarking on this difficult transatlantic voyage, experiencing 2 heart attacks on his 38 days aboard.
Then I follow.
Yeah.
I know that way after that. Why not receive God?
This embodiment of India's sacred teachings set out alone with an impossible wish to spark a revolution of the individual heart, to fill it with purpose in a world of uncertainty, with joy in times of difficulty on an international scale. This gift was the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it has been practiced for millennia, as it is, along with its original Vedic Krishna conscious culture. By his character and his compassion, Srila Prabhupada's systematic and scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness penetrated the very hearts of all those who heard him.
And my leader is to bring big level of Lord faith. God, very loud.
And within a mere 3 years of his arrival, a genuinely international society, ISKCON, manifested globally inspiring teachings of Indian A. Arts, such as painting, music, instruments, and exhibitions. B. Books, particularly his magnum opus, the literary and intellectual jewel, Srimad Bhagavatam. C. Cuisine, the entire suite of exotic Indian vegetarian preparations, mastered by generations of cooks and enthusiastically embraced by boys and girls over the standard cow flesh, alcohol, drugs, coffee, tea, and even the onion and garlic. D. Dressing, men with dhoti kurta, women in saris, all with tilak. E. Etiquettes, respect to elders, the saintly, and to God. F. Following the cultural pathway, Sanskriti, for example, introducing the sanctity of Vedic marriage with all its duty and its commitment. Establishing a personal relationship with the Lord, a form of exquisite devotion, performs holy care, distribution of exercise, and worship. H, a healthy lifestyle with regulation, such as rising early in the morning, and pure habits, such as bathing upon rising. I, Indian ethics, establishing the value from scriptures such as Ramayana and Mahabharata of a life filled with perseverance, tolerance, and humility over personal appearance, education, and wealth. J, jolly dancing in kirtans to worship the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's teachings were centered on the essence of India's wisdom, that the constant chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or as he called it, the great chant for deliverance, was capable of revolutionizing the world. His gifts to India included three major centers of culture and education in 1. Bombay, the economic capital of India. 2. Vrindavan, India's foremost place of worship. And 3. Sridham Mayapur, ISKCON's international headquarters. Srila Prabhupada's unprecedented achievements have created an imperishable legacy. Their magnitude is understood only in terms of how the world has changed since his arrival on Western shores. Indians are now valued not only for their technical competence, but also for their character, their holistic culture, and their loving devotion to the Lord. Today, his students form a body of world-class spiritual leaders to carry on Srila Prabhupada's mission of compassion. Truly, India has regained its position as a genuine beacon of light for the entire world, for generations to come, especially with the construction of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium.
Summary. Okay, we'll take reflections now. Did you enjoy? Stop sharing the screen. And this video is being used, right? Okay. All right. We'll take. Do we want to take questions first? Do you have any questions? Then ready for reflections? Okay. We start on the left. Start with your first name.
My name is Vittal, and what really stood out for me was learning about the academic activities, the ABCD acronym. And I think I will try to imbibe those values in my day-to-day life more than I usually do.
Very nice. Thank you, Vittal.
My name is Lokesh, and my key takeaways is like soul is bound to go back to God, but there is the price what we have to pay, and that is akarma. And the karma is, which is the small deviation in terms of a bhakti, which will take us to the God, and then we can come out from this rebirth and all this stuff. The other part is in this world, outer beauty is nothing. It is just a superficial thing, materialistic thing. Whatever the inner beauty is there, that is the soul. And the soul, what we have to make sure that it is very pure, and it should get into, like, we should do bhakti so that the soul again go back to the God. That is our main funda is, okay, we have to go, our soul should go back to the God and come out from this cycle of birth and rebirth, and that is the way we will be able to do it only with akarma.
Very nice. So are we different from our soul?
Yes, we are, the way I understand it, yes, because the body is materialistic and the soul, which is just, we like from God, we are, soul is placed in the body. That okay, you,
But am I body or am I soul?
so you are a soul.
Okay.
You are a soul, but you are kept in a body.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Lokesh bro.
My name is Sanvi, and I learned today that we can serve God, like God is eager to like let us into the spiritual world. But only just one thing that we have to do is we need to chant the Hare Ram Hare Krishna mantra like every single day, like every single time, and like not get like addicted to bad stuff.
Very nice. Please give a big hand to Sanvi.
Hare Krishna, my name is Kavita. So, what I learned today, the real happiness comes from if we are living in the spiritual life, where we have to connect with God, and we can follow His guidance and follow the rules. That nothing is in the material life is real. It's like in material. What is the like reality is in spiritual life, not is material life. So it's like in material life, it's like tree. That tree reflecting in the water is this kind of situation, but the real happiness comes from that spiritual life.
Amazing. Amazing. Mataji, Kavita Mataji. Amazing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, my name is Kaveri, and my learning is to the ultimate goal or to reach God. How can we do that? Is by those 5 activities: association, chanting, association books, chanting, diet, and seva engagement. So previously, I didn't know how to get to that spiritual path, but by these 5 steps I can get on that spiritual path, which is my ultimate goal.
Amazing. Amazing. Big hand to Mataji. She called out the action plan. Yes. Very nice. Yes. Wani.
So, Prabhuji, you told us today about how we have come to this world and how we can go back. That is out of our own free will. How those ABCDEs we need to follow, and how the Lord has invested all His potencies in the Nam, and how we can realize it and go back.
Very nice, Aditya bro. Such a young age, you're taking lots of interest. Your only competition to Sanvi for being young and devotee. Yes, amazing. Yes, Mataji.
Similar to what everyone says, I think the biggest takeaway today is that it's all free will and we just go through some of the steps maybe to practice of the ABCD that we discussed. Take our spiritual path.
Very nice. Apurva Mataji, thank you so much. Yes, Gaurav Prabhu.
Amazing class today. We had 2 sessions. First part was how we can actually go to the spiritual world, and we learned the amazing ABCDE formula for that. Good takeaway for me was like whenever you see something fake exists in this world, so there has to be something actual or real somewhere. There must be something real for fake to be existing. So if we say fake happiness here, the real happiness must be somewhere else, and ABCD kind of helps us achieve that. I think that was amazing. I think since we have gear, I think you mentioned one example of a dog. I mean, dog, whenever
whenever we cause some issue to him, he doesn't ask like who caused it and why was it caused to me, what was the reason. But as soon as one seeks, like I'm in this world, I'm happy, unhappy. So what's the reason behind it? As soon as we kind of try to find that reason, we kind of get pulled into the spiritual journey where we actually try to seek. And you nicely mentioned like Bhagavad Gita kind of tells you where you are, where you want to be, what kind of experiences you want to have when you are traveling, also while after you reaching. So very nice session that kind of helps you get to the destination that you choose. And finally, in the last session, we kind of looked at how there are different type of religions that are based on different, like one can be based out of fear, one can be based out of how they are grateful to God, and things like that, and how one perceives God as maintainer, the destroyer. So there are different level of understanding at different regions, but ultimately the God has to be one. And there was a nice video of the things that we have got from Srila Prabhupada, because without his guidance, we wouldn't have got Bhagavad Gita as it is to begin all of this program.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaurav Prabhu ki jai. Amazing. This is the end of the syllabus for the series we started, which is called Discover Yourself. And there will be a graduation ceremony. So please send your names as you would like to see in the WhatsApp group so that Gaurav Prabhu can capture it. And we'll create certificates. Sanvi, you become a device graduate. Yes. And then you are graduated into the next class, which is the game series. That is about, again, full study of Bhagavad Gita, PowerPoint based. And then there is a serial study of Bhagavad Gita by opening the book. So a lot is in queue. It has been prepared well. And we have seen the transformational results of people going through this class. We all are actually the graduates of this syllabus. Some point in time I studied and Gaurav Prabhu studied, and we got convinced we are trying to give it forward. Yes. With that, Chandra Prabhu, you want to give your reflections? You want to give some reflections? We are closing the class. Okay. Last session. Okay. What is your reflection on the Discover Yourself program?
Prabhuji, I think we started from on the basics of, somebody who has no belief in the God, to an extent that, we establish the fact that God exists, why we should believe in God, and, which category we belong to. Like how today you explained in a very subtle way that do you want to belong to the category of Hanumanji, or do you want to belong to the category of Raman? So I think it's a nice way of how we build the confidence and trust in spirituality, in God, and what is the right way to serve God, and what is the right way of leading the life, understanding that it is to serve the God.
Amazing, Chandra Prabhu. So you enjoyed your device class, and now you are making sure everybody else enjoys their device class.
You are imparting the same knowledge, getting better and better.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for amazing organization, prasadam, everything.
Thank you for inspiring me since 2014. 2014 is when I attended my first class of device. That's how I started my journey in Krishna consciousness, and you've been inspiring me since then, and I hope you get the same experience with you.
So since those days, Chandra Prabhu started volunteering in the temple, and slowly he picked up on chanting. Then he started chanting 16 malas. He completed study of Bhagavad Gita in detail, and recently has taken initiation, Diksha, from Guru Maharaj, Radhana Swami Maharaj. And there are like at least 100 gurus available in ISKCON, bona fide ones who are available for Diksha. So all the progress started with attending. That is the beauty of this syllabus. So we ourselves can become fortunate, and we can make others